Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a GW Panther, Geschützwagen Panther. It's the Tier 7 German SPG and it's located on the eastbourne of Studzianki and it's under the command of the 756. Now this is one of the runner-ups in the Arty Day Competition. Didn't win, but all the runner-ups are getting a chance to be entered into the competition for the best video. Game started. Well, it's a 15 centimeter gun, 15 centimeter gun, and it's got 680 alpha, so it's quite powerful. But the reload is 23.3 seconds, and you can see that the 756 is not using premium consumables, which is chocolate, to aid his reload speed. Okay, well, he's not moving very far from his spawn point. And he's found a target. It's a Waffenträger auf Panzer IV. Now, this Arty is one of the few with a turret on the vehicle, and it's built on the chassis of a Panther tank. But they never got produced. They were just produced in a model form, which was shown to Hitler. But there was such a dire need for Panther tanks that they never got around to building the actual Arty itself. Okay, we've got a Tiger 1 now, down to the south. And up in the north, in that wood, yep, there's a lot of enemy tanks there. Skoda T50 and a T34-100. This is a tier 9 game. We're bottom tier, which means extra XP for the 756. Oh, the shell overshot the Skoda T50, landed behind him, but it did stun him. And we picked up some stun assists. Quite a lot, actually, at that. Okay, one of their tanks has just got wiped out. Skoda T50. Now, T34-100 somewhere there. There he is. Rounds out. And... oh, we got a splash kill. Would you believe it? 14 hit points. He was very lucky. The shell overshot. And so it would have missed if he'd stayed where he was. But he pulled back and he took the splash, which was enough to take him out the game. So that was a very lucky kill there. But we're looking down the south. There's a Wizzy 111. 1-4, and he's just gone up against the house, and there at the back we've got a Skoda G. No, Scorpion G rather than Skoda G. And Scorpion Gs are always a favourite target for me if I'm in an Arty, because they do make a nice big bang if you hit the target bang on. And he's going for it, rounds out, this looks good. Oh, and it hits the ridgeline instead of hitting the Scorpion. That is the unfortunate thing. Sometimes when you're firing at a ridgeline like that, the ridgeline eats it on the RNG. Now, Samur SM, Tier 8 Premium French Heavy with very thin armour. And he's alongside that Waffenträger. If we can get both together, that would be very nice. And he's backing up. Oh, and the Waffenträger ate the shell. And the Samur took some splash, I think, well, stun at the very least. Yeah, so that Waffenträger certainly took the hit. No doubt about that. These two targets are very good targets to hit because they've both got very thin armour. Rounds out on the Samur. Direct hit, 219. If the Waffenträger was still there, he's also got some splash. Okay, towards the back there we've got a T28 prototype. The SU-152, no, just slightly to the north. Well, we can see the Waffenträger again. He's lost even more hit points, and that does suggest that some of the 756's shots did hit him and do some splash. I always like to stay busy when I'm on these sort of games. Keep firing, keep finding a new target, so the moment that the reload is complete, I can fire that round out, maximise my firepower for the game. He's loaded, he's ready to go. Samur SM, right on that corner. He's not moving. Come on. That's it. Line it up and rounds out. This looks good. It lands in the water next to him, but it still does some damage. And most important of all, it stunned him. And so he picks up the stun assist off that one. Or at least I would have thought he would have. Well, there's the T28 prototype, and you notice that So Rusty did a skin which actually shows the scream, Edward Monk's scream. He also did one which actually showed C-3PO as well, which was a bit too close to copyright material. The Scream, I think, is fairly easy because Edward Monk is no longer with us, and I don't think the makers of the film would actually mind, because after it's good publicity for them. But it wasn't about the film anyway, it was actually about the painting, the Scream. Oh, that was good. It landed next to him, didn't do any splash damage, but it did stun him. And the more he's stunned, the less likely he is going to be able to go around that corner. With only 13 hit points, I don't think he'd really want to anyway. All it needs is one of the team, such as the IS-3, to pop round the corner and put one round into him, and he's out the game. But hopefully the 756 will fire another one in. But he's decided he's going to go for this FCM 50 ton. He's in the dip. He who controls the dip controls the game. That's what they say. Rounds out on that. Oh, hits the church instead. No, I think the Tiger 1 is most concerned about the IS-3 popping around the corner, but there's a Object 430 the other side, and he might pop around the corner and decide to put a round into him instead. 50 FCM 50 ton. Direct hit on his rear. 199. Yeah, that Tiger, he really is in dire trouble. But that Object 430 of ours just got hit by an enemy arty shell. He used his first aid kit to get rid of the stun. I think the reason they won't pop through the gap is because there's a Wizzy 11114 holding back, watching for somebody to do that. It's become a bit of a stalemate down here, a bit of a camp fest, you might say. The Tiger 1 just sitting behind that building, doesn't want to move. In the north, well, the enemy's defeated all of our tanks in the north, and we're 2 tanks down on the enemy, but we do have an Object 704 and an AT-15 to guard us, as well as another tank destroyed to the north, which I think is a Jagdtiger 88. Or is it? No, it's not a Jagdtiger 88. I'm wrong again. It may be a Waffenträger. Maybe a Waffenträger. Okay, we fire a snapshot at the Wizzy, but no, we didn't get it. He's tied up waiting and he wants to move. I think he senses that there is a bit of a weakness here and he wants to take advantage of it. Now he popped underneath that bridge and he's more than likely going to come up the other side, but on the north end of the map we've got a Waffenträger auf Panzer IV moving in, and if we just adjust the field of fire because he's moving fast towards the east, we've got a hit, and it is a Waffenträger ahead of us, so we're backing up a bit more. We can certainly assist him and the 704 to take out that T28 prototype and the Waffenträger. Okay, now it's a difficult shot on the prototype because he's the other side of the railway line on the embankment, and so the shell won't easily dip over that at this close range. And the centre dip, the Wizzy 11114 just drove all the way out to the north to the factory and then drove all the way back down again. But the enemy Waffenträger just took a hit from our AT-15 and he's out the game. So that's evened things up a little. But we're still waiting for that T28 prototype to cross the railway line. Again, it's still a bit of a stalemate. Our fellow Arty's in the SU-14-1, he's right down in the south, up on top of that hill, watching the enemy as they come in. Now, the IS-3 and the AT-15 will be doing the spotting for him, but you can see they've only got limited view range. And, oh, what a shot there! Went in, took out the Tiger 1. That was the 704 doing that. He just managed to thread a shell through the buildings and just killed the Tiger 1. And there's some destruction going on to the south of the Tiger 1. And I think that's one of the enemy tanks moving south. Probably the Wizzy 11114. Unfortunately, we lost our Su-14-1. He was killed. There's the T-28 prototype, and it's a difficult shot. Now the thing is, 7.56 does have enough shells. He's got 16 rounds left. So the moment that T-28 pops up close to the lip of the... Oh, what a shot! That was an impossible shot over the ridgeline into the enemy target and took him out. And that's his second kill. I was going to say, wait until he pops his nose up over the railway line, then hit it. But no, he did it. He was confident enough to put the shell over the embankment and into the target. A very, very narrow shot to do that. It's very difficult to hit over a ridgeline like that. Well, the AT-15's moving into a position to get a shot at that FCM-50T. And he's getting some support from the Wizzy 11114. We can probably put a round through that building to stun him, to hold him off until the AT-15 can attack. Now he's showing some stuns, so it looks like the enemy Arty have been active. We're firing a round in at the 50-ton. Stuns him for a little while. And he's taken out by the IS-3. Now that puts pressure on the enemy because now they're one down. And in fact their Jagdtiger 88 has moved up alongside the Wizzy 111. And from this position it looks like he might be able to get a shot at the Jagdtiger. Just. Oh no, not anymore. Oh, in fact, there's now 3 targets the other side of that church. 3. The Scorpion G's turned up as well. So the enemy is making their main thrust on the church, seeing if they can push in on the south. And all of our forces have gone that way as well. There's still a Waffenträger auf Panzer IV in the north, and nobody's paying attention to him. And of course they've got 2 Arty, and that was a good round. It was close to both the Jagdtiger, and he's gone down, so we picked up stun assist. And the Scorpion G's just fine. He took a big hit. He's a splash kill now. So we just need to reload as quickly as possible, then put 1 round in there to take out that Scorpion G. Oh, no need. Our Scorpion G finishes him off, but we lose our 704 to the Wizzy 111. It's all being focused around this church now. Everyone's shooting at this zone. So now there's just a Waffenträger auf Panzer IV in the north and 2 Artys. And I think the 756 has suddenly realised he's all alone in this side of the map and needs to move. Ideally, he needs to seek the protection of his own teammates there, get close to them. That's the 2-minute warning. Waffenträger's coming back to cover our cap. The IS-3's going north to look for the Waffenträger, and the Object 430, well, he's moving along the south end, and I think he's looking for Arty. It's a good job that our Waffenträger's coming back, because it's a possibility that their Waffenträger has actually made it over to the east side of the map. And, oh, he just died! And it was to the enemy Waffenträger, so we do know that they are looking in this direction, and he must be close enough to have seen our Waffenträger, which means he's somewhere within 4 grid squares or thereabouts of that position. So he's somewhere up on the B line, maybe even on the 0 line, actually, I should say, possibly. There's the GW Panther on the enemy team. We're dialing in, but can we get a shot in before he dies? Oh, he just shotgunned our 430, but he's been wiped out. The IS-3 got him. Our shell was a little late, but there's the Waffenträger, and he was actually a lot further over to the west than I thought he would be when he killed our Waffenträger. And we're now down to 30 seconds left in this game. And we've still got 2 enemies to kill. It's 2 and 2. We fire a round in at the Waffenträger. We splash him, 273, but he kills the IS-3, which means that the 756 is the last one alive on his team. But there is now only 10 seconds left on the clock, and the enemy cannot win. They can't cap out, and they will have difficulty trying to get over to find the 756. And I don't think their SU-14-1 knows where the 756 is. So it's a draw. So a very exciting battle towards the end, and it's an ace tanker for the 756 in the GW Panther. He managed to get a bruiser medal out of that one. 15 critical hits he got in the end, and he also picked up a Confederate because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And normally when you get a Confederate, you normally get very high base XP score. So let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see on this that he did actually get 1,919 hit points of damage in this game. The high scorer actually went to the Waffenträger on the enemy team, 5341, and he got 5 kills. Our Waffenträger got 3486 and only 1 kill. And when it came to base XP, well, we can see that the 756 managed to get 799, which was the highest base XP in the game. But because it was a draw, he actually has ended up, well, less than, not worse off, that it wasn't a winning game, and therefore he doesn't earn as much XP as a winner would, and therefore that's why he didn't win the competition at tier 7. Otherwise, it probably could have been a winning score at tier 7. It's quite sad actually, because this would have been at least maybe 300 XP more, maybe more even than that. This was an ace tanker game after all, but no, I'm afraid on this occasion it wasn't a winner at the tier 7. So let's have a look at detail. Fired 19 rounds, got 5 direct hits, no penetration, 19 splash. Damage of 1,919 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 9 of the enemy, killed 2 of them. There's a 7 difference there, that's why he got the Confederate. And he also got 2,198 hit points of stun assist of 17 stuns. So he certainly was stunning a lot of the enemy, and I'm pretty sure that some of the shots that are actually fired at that Waffenträger, that he got multiple hits on it. There it is, that's the one that got multiple hits. Look, 4 hits, 4 stuns that Waffenträger took. 4 critical hits he received during that battle, so that's why he earned so much in the way of stun assist. On a premium count, he earned 31,360 credits from that game, and he also earned 1,901 XP, but sadly that 799 wasn't enough to win the competition. So this goes into the pot for the runner-up competition, and the What Arty Noobs players get to decide which replay is the best replay out of the runners-up. So thanks for watching.